Morning all, and here we are with the Riptide. Okay, so you're going to say to me, well, hold on, I thought you were going to do a video about painting it. Well, yeah, I was going to, but somebody decided to hide my camera at home as a prank and didn't tell me where it was, so I spent the whole day looking for it, and then I finally found it. But I got bored, so I started base coating it. Now, you can all base coat it. It's quite simple. You just choose the colours that you want and go for it. Now, I'm following the red and white theme. Carried on with my towel that you've seen so far, and basically I've got a lot of gold, so I'm pimping this one up. But what are we going to do today? Well, today we're going to play around with things like paint chipping effects by using sponges. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how do you do that? Now, I got talking to a lovely guy called Mark at the Forge World Open Day, and we talked about how we use our sponges. Now, he told me, and I think it was Mark anyway, but he told me he attaches his sponges to a stick, and that way he's created a tool. Now, I've done a double-sided. It's almost like a Darth Maul sponge saber. No? Okay, maybe that doesn't work. But basically, what you tend to do is, if we just focus on that for a second, you attach it to a bit of tape so you can just rip it off, and then what you do is you just rip little bits out, and this is the sort of sponge that you find in packing cases, and it works really, really well. So as you can see there, I've done the same on that side. I've just wrecked it just to give it a bit of a different look, because we don't want it flat, because we don't want the same pattern going on. Now, you take your sponge, you dip it into your paint, and what you do is you just sponge it off just to get rid of the excess, because you don't want too much of it. And then what we're going to do is, this is the bit which is the fun bit, is we're going to use this to create our chipping effect. Now, don't worry if you go over stuff, because you can just repaint it later. See, so far we're getting a really nice look. And corners I tend to sort of focus on if I possibly can, because that's where the paint's going to rub off the most. It's a nice, easy process to do. Now, like I said, don't worry if you get paint on other areas, because you can always clean that up afterwards. This is going to be nice. I like the bit along there. Okay, so you can't see that, so let's get it back into focus. If you've run out of paint on your sponge, just go back in again. And, oh, if you can hear that, that's the destruction of animals in the background wrecking the kitchen. And it's nice and easy, it's a simple little process. Put some on there, and on there as well. Let's just focus in on that, I do apologise. And we want to put a bit on there and around there. Let's take it off around there as well. Let's look at that bit there. Okay, so we've got some nice effects going on there. It's nice and simple. You don't have to, you know, use a brush all the time. Sponge gives you a nice erratic look as well, so you can do some amazing things with a sponge. Yeah, I want to take off a bit off that side. Okay, and I just want to take some off the bottom there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to spin that around, just taking off the corners, because we're going to be adding metal to this as well, metal effect. Let's get some more paint on there. What we want to do is we want to look at it breaking up on the white, coming across, so basically our paint's been worn away, so that's kind of cool. I just need some more paint on there, and we'll do the same there, same on the antennae, nice and simple. Break it up on there and on there as well. Let's concentrate on a bit on the red. You can also go back in afterwards with a paintbrush and just sort of clean it up. I'm just going to add some white to this. There we go. Now for the white, I'm using, just so you know, Minotaur, and it's the beautiful, beautiful skull white. Really enjoy these colours. Now you can use this through the airbrush. I like to use it as a with a brush. It's a nice thin paint, gives a really lovely effect. I know a lot of people are using it at the moment as well, because it is nice. But it's always good having brand new paints, and I use a lot of different types. Like for the gold, I've used the Vallejo game range, which is just smashing, absolutely smashing. Their metallics are just beautiful. And we're just going to break that up. Oh, I did hit the camera there, I do apologise. Now you can do this many different ways, using your hands, using a sponge that you just hold in your hands, or you can just do it with this. This is a great way of doing it. I'm just going to spin this around now so we can use the other side so we get a different look. There we go. It does, it breaks it up quite a lot. And it's a nice easy way of doing it. There we go. Let's just take the paint off there. That's nice. We'll just sponge that in as well. That'll give us a nice look. Now all of this we'll be able to clean up when we come to ink washing, or just using our GW washes. There we go. There's a nice effect there. Actually, I do like that. Let's take a bit more off there and off there as well. I mean, I do like a battered look. It does look slightly different to everybody else's. A lot of people like their models clean. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I used to love doing that. Straight out of the factory look, it looked cool. But it's your own preference really. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We're nearly there. Now like I said, if you've gone over any of the other colours that you've put on there, we can go back later on and clean that up. Let's just put some of that there, spin that around. There we go. Now that's the breaking down of our colours. Now I'm just going to add a bit there. Now we're going to leave this to dry, because we want to come back and we want to add in our metal effects. But before that, on the white we're going to add a mixture of white and grey, just to break up the white as well. Then we'll add our metal effects to it. Okay, so I'll see you in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. So now's the time to add our greys. Now we did say that we were going to add our metals, but I'm going to move on to greys next. Now what I've mixed is Raven Black by Minotaur, which is a beautiful, beautiful colour, which I'm running out of, and Skull White by Minotaur. I mean, these are really lovely colours, and I'm not just saying that because I got sent a load. I'm saying that because the colours are nice. Unfortunately, I don't know where in England you'll be able to get these from, but you can go online and you can find them from the States and have them shipped over. I've got to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed them. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over areas that I want to the paint chipping to appear on. And again, I'm using my sponge that I've created, and I'm just using that to give me my effects that I want. Try not to soak up too much. You need to dab away onto something to get rid of as much paint as possible, but this is going to give us a nice chipped, broken up white that we need, because obviously in battle paint's going to chip. Dust, debris, explosions all around are going to cause all sorts of damage to your vehicles and to your machinery. So we just need to make sure that we can put these effects into play, and don't worry if you go over colours, because we can come back and we can clean it up, and that's what it's all about. So you know, do not worry. Now we're going to start at the feet as well, because they're going to be heavily chipped. So we're going to go in there and we're just going to really sponge the hell out of these, because we'll be adding metals to this as well. which will really break it up. And don't forget to do the sides as well, because we need that to be done. So like things like there, along the edging. I mean, this is the best part of the process, to be fair. This is the fun part. So let me just focus in on that. I mean, this is the bit that I prefer. The base coats, you know, need to be done. It's a necessity, but this is the best part. If you're going to Salute this weekend, I wish you the best of luck and have a great time finding whatever you're after, whatever game system you're looking for. It should be an amazing event. Also, if you see Warren from Beasts of War there, or any of the other YouTubers, go say hello. It's always nice talking to people. I really love it when people come over and chat to me about what they're doing and bits of hobbies and stuff like that. Guys that have also, you guys that have sent me your Xbox names and stuff, I haven't got around to putting you all on yet. I will do. It's always nice to have other people to chat to and talk about, you know, gaming systems and stuff, which is pretty cool. I had a really great chat with a guy yesterday. I've forgotten his name. Tsunami something or other. Really nice guy. We had a lot to talk about on gaming systems and conversions and stuff. So that was pretty cool. I like that. Unfortunately, I had to rush off because my boy was on his way home from school, so I had to get his stuff sorted out. So that was good fun. Right, so it's basically an easy process. Don't be afraid of the sponging process, because it will give you beautiful chipping effect. And now you may not see this at the moment, but it will appear when you come to do things like your washes. All of a sudden it will give it a life. And like I said, don't be afraid if you go over stuff. You can just wipe it away, or you can go in there and you can just clean it up as you go along. I mean, I'll be going back over this model and just touching up anyway before I start the inking process, because, or the wash process, sorry, I should say. I don't like to say inks because they don't do inks anymore. Let's just focus in on this foot here. You know, so don't be afraid. Let's get it all on there, because when we add the metals to this, it's going to be so much nicer. What else? Oh, there's loads of stuff happening. I'm going to start building scenery soon, so that should be quite cool. Don't forget, get your tickets for the Grumpy Old War Gamer Convention. It's free, and the tickets will be free as well, but you need to download them just so we can get an idea of how many people are going to turn up. It's going to be such a cool laugh. Joey Berry's going to be there, Nick from Worthy Painting, Chuffy, Hazard Syndrome, just to name a few. Great Jojo Man. I can't wait to meet him. He's going to be really cool. I've had a few chats with him here and there, but it's going to be immense just meeting up with him. Let's just focus in on that. Come on, guys. Focus in for me. Thank you very much. Got a bit of a shaky hand, I know. That's because I'm balancing it from behind a camera. It makes it a little bit difficult to do properly. It's really tough. I don't think people realise how tough it actually is when you're doing this, to do it from behind a camera. Fanar, that's what she said. Can I say that? No, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so let's finish off adding our chip paint effects. It's a nice, easy process. And we're nearly there. And my camera's flashing, so I'm going to have to recharge the little blighter in a second. Hopefully, oops, I keep banging that camera, I do apologise. Hopefully I've got something really exciting on its way. It should be being sent today from the States. I'm not going to tell you what, just in case it doesn't arrive, but I'm definitely sure it's going to be here, because I'm so excited and the other person's very excited as well. Well, I hope so anyway. But we're going to have some amazing... Hi guys, and welcome back. So in the last section I said, for some reason, things happen. I said basically when it dries it will dry lighter. Of course it doesn't, it dries darker, so I do apologise for that. Anyway, So I don't know where my brain is at the moment. I've got a lot going on, so I'm thinking about tons of stuff, and you're sort of doing these videos and you just blank out. Okay, so we've done our grey. I've even gone in and just sort of, if we can just sort of focus on that for a second. Thank you very much, Mr. Camera. All our bits and pieces are done. Now here comes the good bit. I've created a new sponge. Now somebody asked me, where do you get it? It's just the packing sponge in the GW cases basically. I tend to have too much sponge, and you try to basically change your case, the innards of your case, to suit your needs. So I'm going to put some what I like to call a lead belcher on the end of this. I'm just going to tap it out because I don't want too much, and then what I'm going to do is quite simply, if you can see that, you're focusing on that right now, is just build it up around here. Now this is going to give us our metal, and we can actually go closer, I should imagine. There we go. This is going to give us our metal look, and it changes the whole look of the model. And that's the most exciting part about model making, is you just add and create a certain effect that just changes everything. So this foot, if we can just get this to focus, is starting to look a bit more like worn paint, and the metal starting to show through. It's that simple. And we'll just go to the knee. It's a little bit darker, but we'll do the same on there. We just got to get some more paint on there. Just take off what we don't need. And this is where it really comes to life. When we start doing little effects like this, it just gives it so much more detail. It makes it so much more 3D. You know, you can sit back and you can say, wow, I'm actually chuffed with what I've done today. I've actually created something that's bloody excellent to look at, good fun to play with. And not only that, you're going to amaze your friends when you're on the battlefield and you've got this beautifully painted army, and it's just about taking a little bit of time, adding that little bit more effort into your models and making them look really, really cool. Now you can see how much passion I have for it. I love it. If there was a time that I could never do any more model making, I think I'd go insane, or I would be insane. But just by doing that, I've created a really lovely look. Now we're just going to spread this over a bit, so you do have to bear with me with the camera focusing, and plus it's really difficult to paint when you're not actually looking at the model properly. You're relying on the view screen of your camera. So straight away we're starting to get a really gentle and lovely effect coming across. Now we can move around here, just grab that side, let's just get that inner thigh. That's looking pretty cool, and we'll just add some on there, so you can start to see it wearing away. Now we're starting to get that effect that we want, which is this beautiful, beautiful chip paint effect. I've got to say, I do like using this as a tool. It saves, using a stick as a tool, it saves basically getting your hands really, really dirty, which is a good thing. Right, let's just focus in. If we could, thank you very much. So we'll slowly get in there. It's starting to gain some life. So just that straight away, that gives it a really lovely look. And then what you can do is afterwards you can go in there with a paintbrush and just clean up areas. That simple. You can amaze your friends with brilliant skills, and it's a really easy thing to do. This is, you don't need to be a master painter just to achieve this effect. It's just using your brain to look at areas of chipping that you kind of think that'll look cool if it's chipped. Now don't be too afraid to experiment. Like I said, you can always paint over the top of it. It's that simple. You're not going to be ruining your model. If your paint's nice and thin, you're going to have an easy time about it. There we go, let's just spin that round. My hand's a bit shaky. It's because I'm trying to balance it on my knee, and also focus at all times as well. Somebody said to me the other day, God, your hand shaky. Well, it's only because I'm balancing my elbow on my knee. I've got my foot raised to raise the model up a bit, and it just makes it easier to focus on areas that I can see, otherwise you're not going to see it. And the hardest part is keeping this in focus all the time so you guys can see what I'm up to. Okay, so here we have this bit here. Let's just turn it around. So I'm just gonna, I keep knocking the camera, I do apologise, but I'm having to keep this quite close so you can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off. Just get it in there, and then when I'm finished, I'll show you the end effect with doing the metals and stuff. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Hi guys, and welcome back. And okay, so we've done what we can do. So let's take a look at the shield. Okay, so what we've got here is, if I can get this to focus, thank you very much. What we've got here is the battle damage. Now I've gone back over it with white and red, and so I'm letting that dry at the moment. And I've also done the same with this. I've gone back over areas with the white just to break up the silver or the metal, as you can see on the legging, leg plates, gun, the chest and the back, and I've re-added the detail where I've gone over. So don't be worried about paint going over the top, because you can just go back over it again and clean it up. So I've done all of that, and the model now is ready to do something else. Now, I said the best bit was the chipping. That's a little bit of a lie, because for me the best bit is the wash. Now I love this. Anybody that knows me knows this is my favourite part of all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my blue tack, stick that down nice and hard so I can wash that, put that to one side, and then I've got the big boy. So we're going to start with this first, then we're going to move on to the big boy. Now this is kind of simple. I'm just going to take a very large brush. Now I've done a 50-50 mix of Agarax Earth Shaker, I think it is, and Null Oil. Mix it up in a pot. I always put a cross on the top so I know which pots have mixed. And I'm just going to dip it in there. Don't be afraid to be a bit lavish. I know it costs a lot of money, but you need to get it all over the place basically. So just cover that over. You can spread it all over the place just like a so. Now what I'm trying to do with this is mix, because the brown's going to give it the depth, the black's going to give it the shading. I'll spin that round and we'll do the bottom as well. It will drip everywhere, it's just the way it is, but don't panic. Now I'm going to take my cotton buds. I don't know what you call them in the States, Q-tips I think you call them, but we call them cotton buds, and I'm just going to roll away and take away bits and pieces that I don't need. Now I'm using it to take away just the top layer, leaving me shadow and a little bit of a wash over the top as it bonds with the paint and soaks in. I mean, that's pretty nice. Let's just mix that up a bit, and I'm just going to spin it around. I haven't got any corks, so I tend to use bottles with blue tack on the top for holding my miniatures. Okay, so we're just going to leave that now. Just take away what we don't need there. Put that to one side. That's done. And now comes the good bit. Now this is going to be really, really messy, so I'm just going to get it started. I don't care. I'm going to spill it everywhere. It's going to go all over the place, but I don't mind. The best thing to do though is make sure you do it on a surface that you don't mind ruining. Do not do it in your front room, in your carpet. Your wife, your mum, your girlfriend will not be happy, Spud Tate, if you ruin their surfaces. Lucky enough I have a bench to work on, and so I can ruin as much as I like in that little area because it's well protected. And it is going to go everywhere, and it will splatter, it will spray, but you just have to get on with it. Just one of those luxuries, and one of those bits and pieces that will happen. And I've got to say, it's the best part for me. I do have so much fun when I'm doing this. It's nice and dirty. Don't mind getting a bit of ink on the old hands, as they say. Let's just smother that in it. Get it everywhere, all over the place. It's going to be dripping. Yuck. Great fun. Just as much fun as covering it in mud. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera down. Keep doing that, I do apologise. And there it goes. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off. We've seen the principle of taking away what we don't need, the excess, and we know how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this baby off, and then I'll see you in the next section. Take care, guys. Hi guys, welcome back. So here we have the dried. We've done a wash, we've let it dry, and now the thing to do is we go in and we do our highlighting. Now by doing our highlighting, what we're doing is we're going back over the white areas and we're just bringing them back out again. So what I've been doing, I'll show you this one first. There we go. So I've just been going in there, just highlighting the whites, bringing out the reds again and just cleaning it up. And that gives us our, if you can see, if we can get really close in this, you can actually see where I've been going over the metal parts again with a bit of white and a bit of red just to bring them back out again and just tidy them up. It makes it, it gives it a real sort of like winter camo effect as well, but also gives it a little bit of frosting, but also shows us where the paint layers have chipped down and we've gone down to the metal. And wherever you see metals, let's see if we can get in there really. So I'm a bit shaky, so it's not really focusing too well. Here we go, that'll help. You can see there where the metals have gone through, we've gone through to the paint, down to the metal. That works out really well nicely. And we've done the same on here as well. So if we just go into the legs and the feet, for example. So we've just gone in there and we've cleaned it up and just put a bit of paint in there, just to, you can see it on the leg there, where we've gone through down to the metal surfaces, and we've still got bits of paint flecks over the top of the metal. And also it's starting to look a bit frosty as well, because all my army is going to be on a snow base, and you can see around there as well we've highlighted the gold and we've done our wash. Now I've gone back over and we've looked at the green areas and put the green back in. We've highlighted the golds after the wash and it's starting to look pretty sweet. So what's the next step? Well, the next step is to varnish this, glue this bit back on, and we're going to work on the base and build the base up. So I'll see you in a second.